Oh, that's not going to work. That's too dark. Evening, everybody at i.c.stars. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to suspend reality for the evening. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Jill Weininger, and I'm an IC's volunteer, and I am your captain tonight aboard the USS icstars. I've had the opportunity to work with all of the interns across all three programs in all three cities this fall, as they have explored their futures. And tonight, they are going to be speaking their futures into existence. So, before we begin, I need you all to prepare yourselves, because tonight, we're not staying here in 2025 because that's boring. Tonight, we're engaging our warp drives and jumping 25 years into the future. That's right. We are beaming right to the year 2050. Now, in the grand tradition of Star Trek, where the brave crew boldly go where no one has gone before, we too are about to explore a world that doesn't exist, except in the visions of our interns. You will hear tonight about the realities that they are going to create in their futures with their choices, their dreams, their spirit, their grit, their strength, and their energy. Imagine it. The world has changed in ways we can only begin to understand. Technology has evolved beyond our wildest expectations. Society has faced challenges and triumphed over many of them, thanks to visionaries who dared to act, to build, to create, and to dream. And that planning began in 2025. So tonight, we are going to honor each of our i.c.stars Chicago interns in the year 2050, as each of them reflect on their careers and an award that they have all won due to their passions, their commitments to community, and their hard work in the ways that they have changed the world. The awards you'll hear tonight are not about who we are today. They're about the legendary figures you will all become. So I invite you, as we step into the future and on this time warp, suspend the present, forget the limits of 2025, and join me in celebrating these extraordinary individuals, not just for what they've done so far, but for what they will do and for the future they are already building. Our first award tonight is to Bonnie, I got to get this right, Bonnie Makania-Kondo with the Tech Leader Award. Bonnie, come on up. I got it, right?
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Receiving this Tech Leader Award tonight means more than I can express. It isn't just a recognition of the systems I've built. It represents the hard work I've put in, the work that we've done to make technology accessible and usable to small businesses across Chicago. This award honors every moment I've spent solving real problems for real people, especially mom and pop shops across the whole city. Standing here in 2050, my journey feels long, but every step mattered. I started as an entry-level developer, learning the basics, showing up early, staying up late, and trying to find my footing in the world. From there, I became a junior developer, still unsure, but hungry enough to keep pushing and keep trying and keep improving myself and telling myself that I belong in this field. As I grew into a senior developer, I began trusting myself more, started seeing patterns, solving bigger problems and challenges, helping others grow. As a lead developer, I learned how to guide teams under pressure. And later on, as a CTO, I learned to design systems to scale, making decisions that impacted real businesses. And eventually, I became one of the founders for Metis, something that started as a simple name back in i.c.stars and grew into a mission much bigger than me. Metis became a place where all the hunger and discipline and problem solving came together. It became a way for me to see what I've built in myself, meaningful solutions for others. Through all those titles, one truth defined me. I became someone who built myself through discipline and problem solving and used those strengths to uplift others. A big part of the change happened during Geek Week, icstars in 2025. When Geek Week started, I knew I had 15 tasks. Day one, I did 2 tasks. So I was excited. I thought I'd knock out 3, 4 tasks a day. But when day 2 happened, I only did 1, and that hit me hard. I messed up early, got in my head, and didn't finish nothing on day 3. And I just did 1 task day 3. By Thursday, I've only completed 5 tasks out of the 15. Everyone around me was moving forward while I felt stuck. Finally, something clicked on Friday. I stopped worrying about failing. That fear was holding me back all week, and I showed up early, ready to go on Friday. I signed up every empty slot and just pushed, grouped tasks together, finished 2 or 3 tasks at once. Each win built momentum. By the end of the day, I was close but not done. So I came back on Saturday morning and finished the last task, and then I earned my Geek Week sticker. It proved to me that feeling failure. It proved to me when I stopped feeling failure, I can build anything, including myself. I took the lesson and applied it through my entire career. That mindset guided me when I created Metis. It shaped how I built systems, made life easier for small businesses. I focused on creating universal colorblind accessibility across devices. I wanted a standard built into phones, tablets, and computers, something intuitive, seamless that could be adopted everywhere. Today, that feature is a global standard, helping millions of people. One of the projects I'm most proud of that reminds me of why I love building things. It makes life easier for colorblind people. Okay, there are many people I want to thank. First, I want to thank thank i.c.stars and everybody involved in the entire program. I want to thank each cycle member, every high T guest who shared their wisdom with us. Those conversations shaped the way I think about leadership and responsibilities and possibilities. But I want to give a special thanks to Maya Wells. She believed in me when no one else did. She saw the potential in me I couldn't see yet in myself. I owe her so much for her guidance, her faith in me, and the way she pushed me to grow to the person who I am today. I also want to thank my parents for the infinite support and the rest of my family for being the foundation. They've been with me through every win, every setback, and every late night, even every early mornings. I also want to thank Jonathan, who helped me more than he possibly realizes, especially during Geek Week. His patience, willingness to show up after hours, and the way he genuinely cared about the cohort. It matters. Thank you, Jonathan. And also, I'd like to thank the early clients in Chicago community. Thank you for trusting in me before I had a company, before I had a name, before I had anything but a desire to build. You gave me my first real chance, and for the future, I'm far from finished. Metis is expanding nationwide. We're investing in the next generation of developers. We are building more community-first engineering solutions and continue to push accessibility and innovation forward. We are making sure technology stays human, easy, and empowering. Thank you again for this honor, for recognizing my journey and the growth and the purpose behind my work. I'll end with this. My purpose is to empower, and I'm just getting started.
And you are right. Your purpose as you go forward. Thank you. Great job. Way to kick us off tonight, Bonnie. Thank you. Next up this evening with the Amaranthine Award is Charlie Meha. Charlie, come on up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for honoring me with this Amaranthine Award. This award represents something eternal, something that never ceases. To me, it symbolizes perseverance, faith, and the belief that hard work and dedication can transform lives. I stand here today because of that belief and because of the love for God that grounds me and fuels my energy for success. Looking around this room, I see familiar faces that reminds me of where it all began at i.c.stars 25 years ago in 2025. Before that, I had spent 5 years as a truck driver in Chicago, including several months on the road across various regions of the United States. That experience taught me discipline, time management, and resilience. But deep down, I knew I didn't want to spend my life behind the wheel. So I decided to take a leap of faith and joined i.c.stars, a program I was skeptical about at first, and so were my friends when I told them about it. When I started, I didn't know what HTML or CSS were, much less JavaScript. Visual Studio Code sounded like a foreign language to me. My first project was with a team of 4 strangers, building insights for United Airlines from customer feedback. It was challenging, but it taught me something bigger than technology: collaboration, adaptability, and growth. From there, my career started to unfold step by step. I became a business analyst, and soon after that is where I faced one of my biggest tests, one of my biggest challenges in my journey. It was learning patience while working towards my first lead role. I was hungry for responsibility, driven to prove myself, and ready to take charge. At least that's what I thought. But when I finally stepped into that lead position, I quickly realized it was far more demanding than I imagined. Leading wasn't just about being the best at the work, it was about guiding others, managing pressure, and making decisions that impact the whole team. There were moments when I felt stretched thin and exposed in ways I hadn't expected. Thankfully, I was surrounded by people who didn't just support me, they sharpened me. Their guidance taught me that leadership isn't about having all the answers, but about staying teachable. That experience shaped the leader I became later on, reminding me that growth is a lifelong process and that patience is often the key that prepares you for the roles you eventually step into. After being a business analyst, that's when I became a senior analyst, then a lead analyst, mastering strategy and leadership. After that, I became a business architect, a role I never imagined for myself. And then came the biggest leap, leaving the security of a corporate role to be a co-founder of a company, Metis. That decision was terrifying, but it was also the most rewarding. It taught me that true growth often begins where comfort ends. Metis started as an idea among that small i.c.stars team that I had with 4 strangers. We began humbly just in Chicago. We now have a presence across 20 states. Metis provides mom and pop shops with access to the same resources that big corporations have at a fraction of the cost. We empower small businesses to thrive and strengthen communities. But this journey wasn't mine alone. I owe everything to the people who shaped me. So first, I'd like to thank my parents, Ernestina and Lucino Mejia, who left their humble home in Izcamilpa de Guerrero and traveled thousands of miles to give us a better future. Their love and patience taught me to never stop growing. I'd next like to thank Dalia Osorio, whose unwavering support and compassion gave me strength when I faltered. She believed in me even when I doubted myself, and her loyalty reminded me that success is built on trust and love. I'd next like to thank Brandice Mava and Tandalea, whose kindness and professionalism at i.c.stars inspired me to lead with empathy and integrity above all. And above all, lastly, I'd like to thank God, whose wisdom in Ecclesiastes reminds me, fear the true God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole obligation of man. Solomon, the wisest and richest man of his time, wrote those words after reflecting on everything life had to offer. His conclusion was simple yet profound. True fulfillment comes from honoring God. That truth has guided every step of my life. Tonight, I accept this award not just for myself, but for everyone who has ever felt stuck, overlooked, or underestimated. You are not your job title. You are not your zip code. You are not your past. With faith, perseverance, and community, you can rewrite your story. Thank you.
Planetary responsibility. Each intern gets a planetary responsibility rock with one word representing what they need to go off to do in the world, and Charlie's is to love. Next up this evening is Dahlia Nunn with the Innovator of the Year Award. I'll bet you want this.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. It truly means a lot to me to stand here today. Today is a special moment because I'm being recognized as the Innovator of the Year, and I'm honored and humbled to receive this award. I want to start by thanking my mother. Thank you for being my first example of strength, love, and resilience. You've taught me how to push through and how to care deeply, how to show up with grace, even when life gets overwhelming. Everything I am and everything I'm striving to become is rooted in the values that you instilled in me and my siblings. Thank you for praying for me. I know you spent countless days and nights praying for the success of your children, and I'm so happy that you get to see all of us live out our dreams. You've always encouraged me. You've always reminded me of what I'm capable of, even when I forgot myself. Thanks for reminding me that the Kumbian throne is my birthright. Haha, it's an inside joke. To my father, who is no longer with us physically, I'm thankful that I'm able to carry out his life lessons and know how much he loved me every single day. He poured wisdom and guidance into our family that shaped me into the woman I've become. He always taught me the importance of staying connected to the source, our Father in heaven. In moments like this, I feel him reminding me to keep going and to stay focused, as he would often say. But most importantly, to stand tall and to have pride in who I am and where I've come from. This moment is for him too. And to my sister, Takara, you've always been one of my biggest cheerleaders. Thank you for always being in my corner and lifting me up. You were and continue to be my mouthpiece when I didn't have the confidence to speak my ideas out loud. You believed in my potential from the start, even when I was figuring it out for myself. Thank you for pushing me and reminding me that I'm eligible to step into bigger rooms and bigger roles. And then to my husband, Stephen, thank you for being my partner in every sense of the word. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Thank you for taking care of our Noah, doing all the things plus extra to make up for the times that I was busy. I don't take that lightly. Thank you for the late nights and the early mornings, for the pep talks, and even for the times you provided quiet support when I just needed someone to listen. You encouraged me to dream boldly and often reminded me of why I'm doing this. You give me strength, laughter, love, and on the days when I need it the most. I wouldn't be where I am now if it weren't for you. Over the past few years, I've grown, not just in my technical skills, but in discipline, focus, and leadership. There was a moment where I almost gave up. These long days sometimes feel heavy. I remember sitting at my desk many late nights, just staring at code and data that wouldn't run, feeling like maybe I didn't belong in tech. The pressures and the expectations weighed on me while life was just happening at the same time. But something in me wouldn't allow myself to quit. I take deep breaths and remind myself of why I started in the first place. I think about the people who are counting on me, you all, my family, Noah, and the little girl I used to be who wondered what she would become. So I got up and I kept moving forward. Moments like these taught me something important. The scripture is true. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. I am living proof. As a data architect in 2050, I can reflect on how over the past 25 years, my career has been anything but linear. Back in 2025, after commencing from i.c.stars, I began as a data analyst. In that role, I earned additional certifications, and my success in that role enabled me to move up into data project management and data engineering. I didn't start out knowing that I would one day work in tech. I started with a love for helping people and solving problems. I worked in retail, customer-facing roles, administrative positions, and service jobs. These roles that taught me how to listen. I learned to adapt and work under pressure. And I know for sure what it's like to lead without a title and know how to make something work, even when things are barely holding together. I learned how to see what was missing and create solutions from scratch. But the turning point in my professional journey was when I entered the world of technology and data at i.c.stars. Shout out to Brandeis, Tandalea, Jessica, and Jonathan. Over the years, I learned how to code. I learned how to design digital experiences. I learned how to turn messy information into clarity. I learned how to make processes smoother, faster, and more intuitive for teams and organizations. I built prototypes, I led projects, managed teams, and solved problems people didn't even realize existed yet. And though through every challenge, I grew. What I accomplished wasn't just technical, it was transformational. I became the person who could turn vision into action and ideas into real functioning solutions. I became someone who could innovate, not because I had all the answers, but because I refused to stop learning. The Innovator of the Year award is more about a pattern than just one single achievement. It's about years of stepping up and creating what didn't exist before. And standing here today, receiving this award, I see the evidence of that strength, not just my own, but the strength that has been poured into me by not only God, but by my family and every experience that pushed me to grow. I'm refined by my journey. My purpose has always required me to have patience and to persevere. Innovation is just simply put something new. It requires a radical change and a pivot from the normal. And I can admit I was afraid of change at first. But as I look ahead, I can step into my future with confidence and a commitment to keep learning and developing and to always make room for others. What motivates me most is the impact I hope to make and the doors that will begin to open because of moments like this. I am honored, and by the grace of God, this is only the beginning. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. Great job. Thank you very much. Nicely done. Next up this evening with the Icon Legacy Award is Mati Young. Mati. Where's Mati? Come on down. There you go.
Thank you. Good evening, beautiful people. Today I stand before you, not just with a declaration, but with a full heart. A heart shaped by support, sharpened by challenge, and strengthened by community. A heart that knows without question that I did not walk this journey alone. Before I speak my dream into the world, I must honor the people who carried me, poured into me, and held space for me to grow. To my family, your love has been my foundation. Your belief in me has been my anchor. You saw greatness in me long before I had the confidence to claim it. Every sacrifice, every prayer, every word of encouragement has brought me to this moment. Thank you for loving me through every season of my becoming. To the i.c.stars staff, thank you for seeing my potential where others might have only seen possibility. You pushed me, challenged me, and stretched me past my comfort zone. You did not just teach me technology, you taught me resilience, leadership, emotional intelligence, and the power of community. You helped shape not just my skills, but my destiny. To my mentors, thank you for the wisdom, the tough conversations, the honest feedback, and the unwavering guidance. You model excellence and integrity in ways that transformed how I show up as a leader. To my i.c.stars peers, we did not just share an experience, we built a family. We learned together, struggled together, laughed together, and overcame together. You inspired me more than you know. Every late night sprint, every team challenge, every breakthrough moment, those memories will forever be part of my story. Thank you for being the iron that sharpened me. To Metis and every team member I collaborated with, thank you for your patience, your brilliance, your creativity, to your partnership. We build solutions, we build trust, we push through challenges, but we also push each other forward. I appreciate you deeply. And now, with gratitude anchoring my heart, I share my dream. I have a dream, and it does not end with success. It, it begins with impact, because success is temporary, but impact is eternal. Success is a milestone, but impact is a mission. My dream is not about chasing titles or collecting accomplishments. My dream is about creating transformation. It is about pouring into others the way so many of you have poured into me. I am not just building a brand, I am birthing a legacy. A legacy with a name, a purpose, a heartbeat. The Icon Legacy. The Icon Legacy is a space where freedom meets purpose, where power wears grace, and where identity rises into its divine elevation. It is a reminder that greatness is not something we stumble into. Greatness is something we grow into. But dreams are not wishful thinking. Dreams require a journey. So today, I want to take you into mine. The last 25 years of the woman I have become. In the first years after i.c.stars, I stepped boldly into the tech world as both a software developer and a technical product manager. Project manager. I wrote code that solved real problems, built applications that made life easier for the people who use them. I contributed to teams where innovation was expected and impact was intentional. These were the years where I become fluent in the language of technology, where I sharpened my technical skills, deepened my problem-solving abilities, and proved that I could build solutions from the ground up. At the same time, I grew as a leader and a thinker. I joined companies where my voice mattered, where my perspective shifted conversations, and where my leadership opened doors for others who look like me. I continued embracing my passion for aesthetics and beauty, reminding myself that technology and beauty are both tools of empowerment. This was the season where the seed of Icon Legacy was planted. My 10th year in the field, I was no longer just contributing to innovation. I was leading it. I launched Icon Legacy, a brand that merged technology, beauty, leadership, and community impact. I opened my first Icon Legacy studio, a tech-forward empowerment hub where confidence, creativity, and digital literacy meet. I mentored young women. I began to speak on stages. I began to work of changing the narrative for the next generation. I expanded Icon Legacy into a multi-dimensional enterprise, a tech consultancy, a leadership development program, a med spa, a speaking platform, and a real estate portfolio that creates safe, beautiful places for learning and transformation. I became a visionary who built infrastructure, not just ideas. Impact became my currency. I rose into senior technology leadership roles, shaped innovation and culture from within. Icon Legacy became national. My programs helped thousands of women step into tech, step into purpose, and step into the highest version of themselves. I launched scholarships, published books, and served on boards that influenced the future of technology and equity. Now I am in the legacy era of my career. Icon Legacy has grown into multiple locations, becoming a national mentorship pipeline. It is a tech and beauty entrepreneurship academy that has become a foundation serving young women. It is a MedSpot network grounded in healing and empowerment. Now, 25 years later, I have built an ecosystem that lives beyond me. A movement, not just a career. I have created a future where people do not just know my name, but they feel the impact of my legacy attached to it. Because my dream was never about what I achieved, it was about who I lifted, who I inspired, who I freed. I had a dream that the rooms I entered would expand because of the life, vision, and impact I brought with me. That the people who crossed paths with me would feel safer around their own potential because they witnessed me stepping into mine. I had a dream that the next generation, especially those who came from where I came from, would know that technology is not just a career path, but a gateway to freedom, creativity, and purpose. That they would see themselves in spaces once deemed out of reach and know they belonged. I have a dream that the work of my hands would heal, that the words of my mouth would elevate, and that the story of my journey would liberate someone who once doubted that greatness was possible for them. Because I learned through this program and through life that obstacles are not enemies. They were invitations. Invitations to grow, invitations to transform, invitations to rise. Every obstacle became a stepping stone. Every no became motivation. Every challenge became preparation. And in that preparation, something sacred happened. I became. And now, with gratitude anchoring my heart, I share my dream. I have a dream, and it does not end with success. Sorry. It does not end with success. It begins with impact, because success is temporary, but impact is eternal. Success is a milestone, but impact is a mission. My dream is not about chasing titles or collecting accomplishments. My dream is about creating transformation. It is about pouring into others the way so many of you have poured into me. I feel like I'm reading this over. Okay. I feel like I'm reading over. Yeah. Okay. 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 I became stronger. I became wiser. I became bolder. I became a leader who knows her voice, owns her purpose, and stands firmly in her power. And so today, I declare that this recognition is not the finish line. It is the beginning of a movement, the beginning of an empire, the beginning of a legacy, the icon legacy, a legacy of elegance, a legacy of empowerment, a legacy of transformation, a legacy built not just by me, but by everyone who believed in me, supported me, challenged me, and walked beside me. I honor you. I thank you. I carry you with me. This dream, this becoming belongs to all of us. Before I leave the stage, I want to leave you with this call to action. To my peers, do not dim your brilliance. We did not endure sleepless nights, sprints, challenges, breakthroughs, and breakdowns just to play it safe. We were trained to lead. We were shaped to innovate. We were built to transform. Take your seat in every room with confidence. Lift as you climb. Pour into others the way this program poured into us. Use your voice. Use your perspective. Use your power. To the next generation of leaders watching us, Give yourself permission to start. Start messy, start scared, start unsure, but just start. Purpose meets you in motion, not in perfection. To everyone who believes in change, let us commit to creating impact, not just income. Let us build with integrity. Let us lead with compassion. Let us dare to dream beyond the limits placed on us. The world does not need more people who fit in. The world needs more people who rise, people who create, people who challenge, people who dream in color and build in courage. So today I invite you, step boldly into your calling, walk fearlessly into your future, become the icon your story has been preparing you to be. Because this is not just my moment, this is our moment. A moment of innovators, a moment of leaders, a moment of change makers ready to reshape what's next. Thank you.
Wait. Continue to inspire. Good job. Thank you. Next up this evening with the Beating the Statistic Award, Maceo McBride. Maceo, come on up. It's all yours.
Hello, everybody. My name is Maceo McBride. I am honored to be receiving this Beat the Statistic Award. This award shows that I can be more than what the world expects of me. We can be more than the limits that's placed on our names, neighborhoods, upbringing, or past. I am not standing here because I was born lucky. I am standing here because I chose to believe that possibilities and dreams belong to me, even when odds don't. Where I come from, people are told that their future is already written, that their environment shapes your destiny. But today, I want everybody listening to understand this truth. You have the power to rewrite your story that has been handed to you. I am living proof that you can step out of generational shadows and create your own light. Your background may explain you, but it does not define you. Your challenges may slow you down, but they cannot stop you unless you let them. Every statistic you rise above becomes a story that you can help someone else rise through. To the young man or young woman who feels trapped by them circumstances, hear me when I say this. You are not trapped. You are being prepared. Every hardship is building you. Every setback is giving you strength, resilience, and purpose. The day you stop asking why me and start saying try me, everything will change. The world needs your voice, your talents, your ideas, your heart, and your dreams. Your vision is not too impossible. Greatness is not reserved to a chosen few. It is available for anyone willing to believe in themselves fiercely, relentlessly, and unapologetically. I dream of becoming more than what I saw around me. I dream that dream carried me to victories like receiving this award. So I'm asking you now, what dream is inside waiting to be believed in? What vision of yourself is waiting to be unleashed? No matter what, no matter where you start, you can build a life that makes your younger self proud and your future self unstoppable. Beating the statistic, break the cycle, beating the expectations, and then turn around and inspire other people behind you to do the exact same thing. Today, in 2025, I am a seasoned entrepreneur and I own several Lunaris enterprises. We combine multiple small and thriving companies. I understand the inner workings of business at entry level from strategy to execution. And I've mastered what it takes to build organizations that operate with precision and purpose. By this year, I serve as CEO, leading with clarity, influence, and confidence, ensuring each company runs smoothly, impacts lives, and generates lasting wealth. Back in 2025, when I commenced from i.c.stars, I began in business analysis. I began as a junior business analysis for a consulting firm. In my years in that role, I began closing several deals and was promoted to business analysis. At the same time, I was proposing independent small projects to companies, and one of them finally reached out and hired me. I was able to manage my future into success and growth, which enabled me to hire multiple other people to grow my business as well. The journey from 2025 to 2020 to 2050 was anything but easy. It was a path shaped by unwavering faith, resilience, and determination to move forward, even when the vision wasn't clear. The challenges were intense, but they refined me. Every setback, lesson, and breakthrough contributed to my evolution into power, a powerful purpose driven. I want to thank Tandalea. When I was at i.c.stars, she always cared enough about me to make sure that I was okay and to ensure that I had everything that I need going through this program. Tonight, I leave you with this thought that inspires me daily. My father always used to say to me, only the strong survive and the weak fall by the wayside. But as I've grown and been around many other people and perspectives, I learned that weakness is often a matter of perspective. One person's weakness can be another person's power. Thank you.
Good job. Go off and inspire. Well done. Thank you, Maceo. Next up this evening with the Renaissance Leader Award is Maya Huggins Jordan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank the Most High for carrying me through the challenges I faced. Thank you for honoring me with the Renaissance Leader Award for reinvention, resilience, and real-world impact. I want to begin with a passage that has guided me through many chapters of my life. Theodore Roosevelt's word about the man in the arena. It is not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, nor where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there's no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds and who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends herself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if she fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. These words became a guide later in life, but I like to take you on a journey with me. At 14, my compass was my studies. I spent every Saturday reading, learning, cultivating discipline, curiosity, and integrity through the books and knowledge around me. It was during that time that I traveled through Ghana, Gambia, Senegal. I didn't see poverty in the way people often describe it. I saw vibrant markets selling crafted drums, alligator bags, and other handmade treasures. I saw beautiful hotels and bustling communities. But I also visited the point of no return, a slave house, on the Alex Haley tour, a place where countless Africans were forced on ships never to return home. Walking through that space, I felt the weight of history, the strength of resilience, and the courage it takes to survive and reclaim your life. On the outskirts, I saw people living in tin huts, children tapping on the windows to give their address, asking for school supplies, pens, paper, even nail polish. I saw resourcefulness and dignity, people creating solutions with what little that they had. That experience reminded me that leadership is not about comfort, it's about courage, responsibility, and showing up in the arena. I didn't grow up imagining I'd be called a leader, an investor, or a philanthropist. I grew up in a house full of books, encyclopedias, cookbooks, Bibles, magazines, and an old IBM computer with a black screen and blinking green letters. My mother turned me into a reader, a thinker, and a curious mind. That childhood gave me two superpowers: the discipline to learn and the imagination to explore. At 19, I became a real estate licensed appraiser, learning to see value not just on paper, but in overlooked neighborhoods and overlooked people. I saw the vibrant life and potential in communities like Inglewood, where families work hard, businesses thrived, and culture was rich. Yet banks would redline the area, denying mortgages and loans simply because of the zip code. By 23, I owned 23 rental properties, learning the power of equity and the importance of building, not just surviving. Then 2008 came, the market crashed, people were cutting corners, doing unethical deals. I had to choose follow the crowd or follow my integrity. So I became a bartender. And let me tell you, bartending teaches you more about human behavior than any corporate training manual ever will. At 28, I trade cash for gold scraps, very lucrative. At 36, I became a mattress firm sales manager. And at 38, a Forex trader and cafe owner in Stockbridge, Georgia. Every role taught me something: how to read people, how to read rooms, how to communicate, manage risks, and trust myself. My pivot into technology was unexpected. While at AT&T, a customer, an electrician, encouraged me to explore opportunities in tech, pointing out that there were boot camps and apprenticeships that could help me break into the field. That advice became a turning point, and it led me to icstars, a space that challenged me, stretched me, and reminded me that leadership isn't about titles or degrees. Leadership is about courage. It's choosing to reinvent again and again when life knocks you down. And from that courage came three initiatives: the Jordan Transition House, a safe haven for women and families rebuilding their lives; Rebuild Her, a digital empowerment platform teaching financial literacy, tech, and emotional resilience; Equity Rising Investment Fund as well, helping first generation women step into ownership, investment, and generational wealth. These didn't happen overnight. After graduating from i.c.stars in 2025, I took a job in sales to strengthen my foundation, pivoted into business analysts, and poured everything I learned into building these programs. They aren't just businesses, they are answers. They are arenas where others can rise. I didn't get here alone. Robert, who encouraged my future in sales when I was bartending; Cynthia Love, my neighbor, who gave me my first real estate job and handed me the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad; Vince, the electrician, who opened the doors to icstars; staff, Jessica, Jonathan, and Brandice; Tujatori, my alumni sister, always a kind, steady listening ear. Thank you for showing up without needing applause. To Sharonda, whose wisdom and encouragement has carried me through storms, ending every blessing with a soft ashe. That feels like a powerful prayer spoken over my path. And finally, I offer libations to my grandmother, Juanita, the ancestor that strengthens me in resilience and quiet power, who lives in every step that I take. Her quiet spirit is the foundation beneath all my reinventions. So tonight, I stand here because I choose to reinvent again and again, not for recognition, but for purpose, for service, for those still fighting for a new beginning. And if you hear nothing else tonight, hear this: you are allowed to begin again. You are allowed to rewrite your story. You are allowed to rise because every time you rise, you bring someone with you. Thank you.
Beautifully done. Thank you. Next up this evening with the Power of Vision Award, Migoni Dowsey. Migoni, come on up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank you all for honoring me with the Power of Vision Award tonight. This award represents the strength that comes from seeing possibilities where others see limitation. To me, vision isn't just about dreaming, but having a plan, a purpose, and the discipline to bring those dreams to life. I can honestly say I earned this award because I have always led my life by vision. I earned the Power of Vision Award for consistently demonstrating forward thinking leadership and the ability to turn ideas into meaningful action. I was recognized for seeing possibilities where others saw limitations, inspiring my peers and driving projects that push our team toward innovation and impact. This award reflects my commitment to staying focused on long-term goals, uplifting others, and bringing clear, purpose-driven visions to everything I worked on. That's what the Power of Vision Award really means. Not just seeing what's possible, but believing in it enough to take step after step, even when no one else yet fully sees the picture that you do. Throughout my journey, I've overcome obstacles that felt bigger than me at times. My childhood was not easy. When I lived with my mom, I faced emotional, mental, and physical abuse that forced me to grow up far too fast. But even with all of that, she still invested in me in meaningful ways. She put me in private violin lessons and even bought my violin when others had rentals. She exposed me to the world early, taking me out of the country on my first birthday and every few years after, because she wanted me to see possibilities she never had. And no matter what was happening between us, she never played about my education. Her commitment to giving me access and opportunity shaped the way I dream and the standards I set for myself. Later, when I transitioned to living with my dad, the environment was calmer, but the money was tight. Stability looked different. Sometimes it meant living with very little, navigating limited resources, and figuring things out as I went. I often questioned who I was and whether the dreams I had were realistic. But eventually, something shifted. One day, I woke up and stopped focusing on my feelings and started focusing on what needs to be done. And once I did that, the wondering and doubt finally began to fade. After leaving i.c.stars, I jumped straight into project management, starting my career at United Airlines, where I developed my foundation in leading cross-functional teams, coordinating timelines, and keeping large-scale operational projects on track. From there, that momentum allowed me to transition into a hybrid project manager role at IBM, an opportunity that became possible because my cousin helped open the doors and introduced me to his network, but one I secured through the relationships I built and the work I proved I could do. At IBM, my skills in stakeholder communications, sprint planning, and delivering structured solutions in fast-moving environments. This was also when I expanded into design, sharpening my ability to turn user needs into clear, thoughtful, and visually effective solutions, which led me into product design while continuing in project management. Working across different teams and industries, I kept growing my ability to organize complex work, bring clarity to chaos, and drive results with intention and confidence. And that foundation continues to shape how I approach every challenge. Looking back, i.c.stars wasn't just a program. It was a spark that launched everything. It taught me to lead boldly, design with intention, and step into rooms I never had imagined myself in. Breaking into tech as a young Black woman was another obstacle. I battled imposter syndrome, being paid less than my worth, and being underestimated. I feel like people didn't expect someone like me to carry the talent that I did, so I constantly had to prove myself. But I kept pushing, and that's why I'm standing here today. Over the years, I have developed life skills that not only shape my character, but my career. I learned tenacity, discipline, resilience, emotional intelligence, adaptability, leadership, and self-advocacy. These skills help me build my future. I love the work I do as a product designer and project manager. It allows me to be my most authentic self. It allows me to show my creative side while simultaneously giving my work purpose. Every day I get to create things that make people's lives easier. Your job doesn't feel like a job when you love what you do. As a project manager, I get to guide people, I get to give people space to do what they're good at and to discover things about themselves that they never realized before. I truly believe that people excel when they do things that they love, and I feel like God is using me as a vessel to help make it possible for those around me. When it comes to who I want to thank for their support through my career, it is a deeply meaningful list. First, I want to thank my mom. Even through our toughest times, she instilled in me core values that shaped me as a person: independence, discipline, advocacy, and education. My mom has 3 degrees. She taught me to always finish what I started. Even when we weren't close, her voice was in the back of my head, reminding me to never quit. I also want to thank my dad. He was the first person to introduce me to the world of technology before I even realized what technology really was. He told me how fast it was growing and how important it would become and how important it would be for me to get in on it. I would also like to thank my boyfriend, Travion, for helping me for helping me get my first internship, which opened doors for me that college never would have been able to. He has supported me when I didn't believe in myself, motivated me, and allowed me the space to be vulnerable without judgment. He has been with me throughout my entire career and has done nothing but encourage me to my full potential. Never as competition, only pure love and care. Next, I want to thank my cousin Elijah. He is one of my greatest influences, not only in my career, but my life. He was the first product designer I personally knew. He worked at IBM and Microsoft, and he made my goals of being creative and technology feel tangible. He inspires me to still to this day through the way he lives his life. Not only is he inspirational, he supports me. He has given me resources, opportunities, projects for my portfolio, a place in rooms I might have never been in without him. He took me to IBM at 19 years old, introduced me to his boss, showed me around the office, and helped me connect with his network. He's given me opportunities when I'm sure I was underqualified. He believed in me from the very beginning. He's more than a cousin, he's a mentor, and I can confidently say I would not be standing here today without him. I also want to thank Mark DeLay for my i.c.stars interview. He made me feel seen, supported, and capable. I genuinely believe his belief in me played a part in my acceptance, and that acceptance changed my whole life. His guidance throughout the program meant so much. I also want to thank my Uncle Marcus, Elijah's father. He was always the one who told me what I needed to hear. His honesty kept me on track, and wanting his approval kept me grounded. Lastly, I want to thank my auntie for being my emotional backbone. She may not understand anything about tech, but she understands me and has helped me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. When it comes to my future plans, I'm committed to creating opportunities for Black youth and underprivileged kids by providing guidance, support, and positive mentorship. My goal is to help them build confidence, develop essential life skills, and see possibilities they have not been exposed to. I strive to be a consistent and uplifting presence, someone who listens, encourages, and empowers them to dream bigger. By offering real world exposure, emotional support, and practical tools for success, I hope to open doors that inspire them to realize their full potential and confidently shape their own futures. Youth is the most important thing. They're next up, and helping underprivileged kids is most important to me. My future is about lifting up others. I want to make my story into someone else's motivation. I want to open doors so the younger generation doesn't have to fight so hard to be seen because someone was here before me who did it for me. I want to leave you all with my favorite scripture, Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. That verse taught me to take everything one day at a time, to trust the process, even when you can't see the brighter side, and to keep going. Thank you all.
Great job. Thank you. Next up this evening with the Lifetime Achievement Award, Nathan Jimenez. Nathan, come on up.
Right. Hello, everyone. Hello to everyone watching. I am honored to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award, a recognition that represents not just the achievement, but the journey behind it. Growing up on the northwest side of Chicago, I never imagined the road ahead would lead me here. Back then, I didn't have a clear map, just curiosity and a desire to do something meaningful. For a long time, I wondered what my purpose would be. It wasn't until later in life that I discovered one of the most important skills I could ever develop: consistency. It didn't come easily. It came through challenges that tested my patience, through moments when progress felt invisible, and through days when quitting seemed easier than continuing. But I kept showing up. And that decision to stay consistent has changed everything. My dream was to build a career in technology, and I started small. My first step was in 2025 when I joined an internship at i.c.stars Chicago, a wonderful organization that helps young adults in underserved communities gain access to opportunities that they would otherwise not have. I still remember the day I got the acceptance email from Sharonda Booker, our recruitment specialist. I felt like the door to a new world had opened. That internship was more than just a job. It was a classroom without walls. I learned from mentors who believed in me, worked on projects that pushed me beyond my comfort zone, and gained hands-on experience that transferred theory into reality. One of my proudest moments was contributing to a project that improved a client's data security, a real-world impact that showed me the power of technology. After that internship, I kept building. I earned certifications in Python programming and cybersecurity fundamentals, which gave me the technical foundation I needed. I worked on personal projects like developing simple web apps and analyzing data sets to sharpen my skills. I attended networking events and connected with professionals who guided me, challenged me, and inspired me to keep growing. I explored different paths: software development, cybersecurity, data analytics, until I found my passion in building secure, user-friendly systems that protects people's information. My journey as a technology professional continued when I got a job working as a cybersecurity analyst. In that role, I had the opportunity to stop a data breach from happening that saved the sensitive data of thousands of clients. This moment earned me a promotion, where I led a cybersecurity team, eventually earning the title of Chief Information Security Officer. Today, I've reached a destination I only imagined. I am a CISO responsible for overseeing the organization's cybersecurity strategy and operations. I continued to protect thousands of users, and I've even mentored interns who reminded me of where I started. I earned this award by being persistent and reliable, qualities that carried me through every challenge and every opportunity. Whether it was showing up when progress felt slow, delivering on commitments, or supporting others along the way, I made a choice to stay consistent, and that choice changed everything. I want to express my deepest gratitude to i.c.stars Chicago, my mentors, my family. I'm so appreciative of the i.c.stars program for opening doors and for reminding me that every step forward matters. A special thank you to Brandy's, Jessica, Larry, Jonathan, Aurelie, and all the i.c.stars staff. Shout out to Brandy's for bringing us together and teaching us business leadership skills and bringing a sense of humor to work every day. Jessica, thank you for teaching us the technical foundations to get us started in our careers. Jonathan, thank you for assisting and going out of your way to make sure we stayed on track. Larry, thank you for continuing to invest in i.c.stars so people like me who never gone to college can seize an opportunity to pursue careers in technology. My family, thank you for always being there and always believing in me and taking care of me growing up and raising me to be the person I am today. Without their guidance and support, this journey would not have been possible. Looking back, I realized it wasn't luck that brought me here. It was consistency, the quiet, steady force that carried me through every challenge and every opportunity. That skill turned my dream into reality. And now I stand here not just proud of what I accomplished, but excited for what's next, because the journey never truly ends.
We're so delighted, by the way, for all of the people that we have on the live stream, but there's nothing like the power of seeing the parents in the room. Mom, you held it together. Well done. Very well done. Thank you very much. Great job. Next one up. I know I tried to get you tissue, but I couldn't get around subtly. So next up this evening with a Pulitzer Prize is Penelope Darling. Come on up.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this Pulitzer Prize for biography. It's funny, when I started writing what would become Better Read Than Dead, I thought it was fiction. I thought the young woman at the center of the story was fiction. It took decades of unearthing her story, decades of unearthing my story, before I could see that the two stories were just one. I was always the dream girl I was looking for. This is the definitive story of my life. Beginning the moment I resolved to live authentically, that authenticity helped me overcome career loss, career changes, literal political persecution. People with wealth and privilege and power love to complain about cancel culture, but every trans person has lived it. Thankfully, my internship at icstars helped me see what was possible even in those dark times. Brandice, Tandalea, Jonathan, Jessica, Sharonda, and all the other staff members and all of my Cycle 58 interns, I genuinely don't know where I would be had I not discovered this program. Later, data quality stint at Rotary International and a business analyst stint at United Airlines gave me the financial and calendar stability, and most importantly, the free time outside of business hours to chip away at this project. Spreading my wings, as one former mentor would say, and painting the town red, as would another. And speaking of flying, I have a stand-up meeting with my United team first thing in the morning. Some of us dolls have a saying, death before detransition. I live by those words more than any others. I got it tattooed on my shoulder 15 years ago. That refusal to live any life but my own made it possible to put into words for all of you. I learned tenacity by necessity, how to maintain my sense of self in spite of the world around me ending and being rebuilt. I learned how to stay true to myself even as the most powerful people in the world demonize my existence. I learned how to trust, who to trust, and I was more loved than I knew. I have so many to thank. Some who know how instrumental they've been in my life, and some who may have no idea at all. My good friend Sophie Z, the Crow Girl, whose dedication to an honest life kept me honest. When I'm being an a-hole, she speaks to it. Trust that. Taylor Calvert, a fellow traveler I wish I had met 20 years before I did. High school would have been so different. My grandfather Alfred, my late grandmother Alma Jean, whom I suspect I knew I was going to transition before I did. My aunts Pam and Beverly and Marilyn and Kelly. My cousins, it would take all night to name them. Liz, Juanizia, Amanda, Chauvin, and everyone else in my Chicago cohort. Katina, Richard and Elena, Brittany, Tiffany and Kevin, Nita, Brandy, Allison, Heather, Meredith, Justice, and countless others that make up my Arkansas cohort. That state never felt like home, but the people still do. As well as my beloveds in Louisiana, California, Oregon, Missouri, New Zealand, and so on. I travel all over, and I'm loved all over. My brother, Derek, his wife, my sister-in-law, Amy, and my dad, Nelson Jr., thank you for doing the work. Above all else, I thank my mother. Some call her Carla Terry, some call her Callie, some call her Mama Darling. She has been on my side since the C-section. She's always made the effort to support me even when she didn't understand what I was experiencing. She has been there for every version of Penelope Darling, and I can't thank her enough. I love her as much as anyone can be loved. Better read than dead. It is beautiful, terrifying, hopeful, and dispiriting. It has taken decades to flesh out this story. It tore me open like nothing else has. I had to face myself, all of the light and shadow, then to understand what I wanted to say, how to say it. What did I want the world to know? What did I want them to take from my personal experience? I hope anyone that has read this understands why everyone should be allowed to live authentically, why we should let people be. Honestly, it is the only way to live. Conformity is painful, it is violent, and in my opinion, not worth living. A life of falsehoods and masks is no life at all. I am here today with the life I've enjoyed because so many of you were willing to see me in all of my complexity and all of my differences. As grateful as I am for that, I do have one further request. That willingness you've had for me, I want you to give it to all the other different humans out there. The poor, the homeless, the disabled, the Palestinian, the Congolese, the Sudanese, to everyone. They need us and we need them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, with the Emerging Blacks in Technology Award, Terrell Purnell. Terrell, come on up.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being here to celebrate and honor us today. I'm extremely grateful for this amazing Emerging Blacks in Technology Award. I am truly humbled to receive this award today, and it is only because of the trailblazing individuals that came before me that I'm able to be here today. I am truly honored to be here. When I first shared with close friends and family that I was going to embark on a journey into technology, they initially expressed a sense of incredulity. I felt like most of them doubted me, and I'm sure that they thought I had lost my natural mind. But I remember my mother was the one person who gave her full support and wanted to see me be successful in whatever career path I chose in life. I'm currently working as a software engineer. It was not an easy journey to get to this point in my life, to say the least. I encountered varied challenges, obstacles, and setbacks along the way. But I continued to strive to be successful in this career path that I chose. I began my journey by initially taking a computer tech course at a Southeastern Illinois community college, while ultimately ended up earning a certificate in basic computer technology. Okay. After that experience, I was quite convinced that the tech field was too hard, way too challenging, and meant for those individuals who were super intelligent and of a more elite socioeconomic class than the one I grew up in. Over time, I began to see that the tech industry was becoming more inclusive of all individuals from all walks of life. I began to realize that it no longer mattered what your background looked like, and that everyone ultimately had something valuable to contribute to the ever-evolving landscape of the tech world. I realized it had become more of a universal industry and no longer embodied the restrictions of the past. So I decided against economic fears and naysayers that doubted any possibilities and started researching software development apprenticeships online. I ended up joining i.c.stars internship program after successfully completing a rigorous application process. After 14 weeks of intense training in business, leadership, and technology skills, I commenced from the program and landed my very first position in tech industry as a data analyst working with United Airlines. Working in the tech industry has definitely had its challenges. Most of them just come along with the job. I've had to face many challenges along the way, some professional challenges and some personal challenges. Like many in the tech world, my journey has been defined by overcoming very difficult obstacles. Early on, I wrestled with steep learning curves, trying to master new programming languages, understanding intricate database systems, and debugging code. There were days when a single error consumed hours, and there were nights when I questioned whether I truly belonged in such a demanding and fast evolving field. I faced moments when projects broke unexpectedly, when deadlines felt overwhelming, and when imposter syndrome whispered louder than confidence in my ears. But instead of giving up, I pushed forward. I embraced the challenges as fuel for growth. My tech career has empowered me with powerful skills that extend far beyond coding. I developed analytical thinking, the ability to break down complex problems into structured, manageable parts. I strengthened my communication skills, learning to collaborate with cross-functional teams, translate technical concepts for non-technical audiences, as well as listen deeply to fully understand user needs. Adaptability has also become second nature. In a field that evolves constantly, I learned to embrace rapid change, continuously update my knowledge, and stay open to new frameworks, tools, and methodologies. And perhaps the most transformative skill I've gained is perseverance. Software engineering has taught me that progress often emerges from trial and error, and that persistence is the secret ingredient behind every innovation. I really love my work because I enjoy transforming ideas into functional products, solving real-world problems with elegant code, and building systems that help people in meaningful ways. Every day brings a new challenge, a new puzzle to solve, a new technology to explore, a new win to celebrate. I love this field because it keeps me intellectually engaged, creatively inspired, and purpose-driven. It pushes me to think boldly, to innovate fearlessly, and to continually evolve. And the greatest reward is knowing that something I built can improve someone's experience, streamline a process, or open the door for new possibilities. No person is an island, and I'm profoundly grateful for those who supported me along this journey. My younger brother truly encouraged my curiosity from day one, especially during those long nights spent in front of a computer screen. Supporters such as Jeremiah, Mario, Christopher, and my mom all gave me confidence when having to meet difficult, tight deadlines and challenging projects. I'm especially grateful for both of my mentors, Monica and Emma, professionals who shared their technical wisdom, guided me through complex concepts, and challenged me to grow beyond my comfort zone. And I'm also grateful to my colleagues who collaborated with me on tough releases, reviewed my code with honesty, and celebrated every victory along the way. Thank you all. Your support has played an incredible role in shaping the engineer that I am today. Thanks again to my younger brother Jeremiah for being a meaningful part of my journey. Your support has fueled my growth, strengthened my purpose, and inspired me to keep striving for excellence. I am proud of how far I've come, grateful for where I stand today, and driven by the incredible opportunities that lie ahead. Looking ahead, I am energized by the endless possibilities in the tech field. I plan to continue elevating my technical expertise, exploring advanced technologies, and taking on projects that challenge me to think more innovatively. My goal is to create software that is not only functional, but transformative. Solutions that make systems smarter, workflows smoother, and people's lives easier. Thank you all once again for being here today and for your continued support. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much, Terrell. Great job. Next up this evening with the Future Builder Award is Travion Ashford.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you for the Future Builder Award. This award represents everything I work for: the dedication, the leadership, and the determination I showed as I worked to help young people and members of the community reach their goals. To me, this award symbolizes more than professional success. It represents the belief that goals are still possible, no matter your starting point, your background, or the obstacles placed in front of you. Throughout my career, I earned this award by consistently pushing myself to master both technical and human sides of cybersecurity. I developed strong skills in threat analysis, system protection, and incident response, taking on complex challenges that strengthen the security of every team I work with. Just as important were the soft skills I built: leadership, communication, patience, and the ability to guide others through high-pressure situations. I led teams through major security projects, mentored newer analysts, and created a culture where people felt supported and confident. But beyond my own growth, this work represents something bigger: building a foundation for the youth coming after me, showing them that that's what's possible, and creating a path they can stand on as they build their own future. Throughout my career, I devoted myself to guiding the youth and the people coming up after me, showing them that opportunities are attainable even when you come from a place where opportunities are rarely seen. My journey began at i.c.stars, where I learned discipline, leadership, and the foundation of technology. After commencing, I started as a junior security analyst and then grew into roles as a cybersecurity specialist and security engineer. Each step gave me more responsibility and confidence. Those experiences
prepared me to become a cybersecurity manager, leading teams in major projects. These years of learning and growth, I eventually earned my dream role as Chief Information Cybersecurity Officer, while I now oversee security operations and protect people on a larger scale. I grew up in a lower class family. I didn't have many examples around me of people with degrees, successful careers, or high status positions. Because of that, it was hard for me to picture myself in these roles. I doubted myself and had imposter syndrome. Walking in rooms feeling like I wasn't enough, even though deep down I knew I had potential. I was scared to fail in front of people. I was scared to speak up about what I believed in. But with time, I learned that growth requires courage, and courage requires vulnerability. I came from a background where success was not common. I had to imagine possibilities that I have never seen before. But the struggle made me stronger, more appreciative, and more determined to help others from similar backgrounds break into spaces they were never told they belonged. Along the way, I developed life skills that helped me grow into my career and connect with people on a deeper level. Skills like leadership, empathy, compassion, and the ability to care for others. These traits were often overlooked, especially in a world where people stay locked in on their routines and forget about everyone around them. Everyone carries their own silent battles. We are not robots. These skills helped me guide my work as I stepped into one of my most important roles of my career, Chief Information Cybersecurity Officer. I oversee the entire cybersecurity operations at my company, CyberArk. I protect people from cyber threats, lead multiple teams, and make critical decisions that keep our system safe. This is my dream. I'm able to help people and help companies stay safe because it's about protecting the people. I have always wanted to be a leader in some way. I just didn't know how to be. I'm not the loudest guy in the room or the most extroverted, but I never wanted to be that type of leader anyway. I wanted to be someone that connected with people authentically, either through their culture, energy, or characteristics. My job allows me to be everything I've aspired to be in a way I did not know was possible. It has given me so much fulfillment. I finally get to be in a position in my life where I'm the one who matters. It is so ever changing. The job never feels boring and is consistently evolving. My journey is not only about me. I want to thank the people who helped me become who I am. My mom, who showed me love, care, and resilience. She taught me that even when I was ready to give up, to stand back up. She taught me strength is not by just telling me, but showing me every day. By raising a hard-headed kid, as a single mom, where I persevering work and raising my other siblings. She showed me anything is possible if you want it badly enough. My brother Javion, an uplifting spirit and a great human. He always turned my worst days into better days and reminded me to keep going. My uncle LC, a great man who stepped in to raise me during times when my father wasn't able to. He gave me guidance, strength, and a sense of family that shaped my character. And my loving girlfriend Migoni. She supports me, pushes me, and holds me accountable in all the right ways. She helps me break out of my shell and step fully into my potential, encouraging me to stand up, speak confidently, and never downplay my value. I appreciate her deeply, helping me become a stronger, more driven version of myself. And I also like to thank Tandalea for being a kind soul and always believing in me, and showing me that to be kind, it doesn't cost anything. As I look towards the future, one of my biggest goals is to continue spreading mental health awareness. You never know what someone's going through. A person can smile all day in public, but go home and feel broken inside. That two-faced struggle is real, and it deserves to be talked about. We have to appreciate people while they're here, and not once they're gone. I plan to use my platform and resources to make sure people feel seen, supported, and valued. I plan to volunteer at local mental health organizations in my community. As I begin to travel both personally and professionally, I want to be sure to keep this work up wherever I am, and after a certain point, span nationally. Our people are important, and we should protect them. Before I close, I want to thank everyone who came today, especially the people I invited who shaped my journey. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for believing in me. I want to leave you with a thought that carried me through many moments of doubt. Embarrassment is an underexplored emotion. Go out there and make a fool of yourself because everything you want is on the other side of that. Have a great evening.
Thank you. So as we close tonight, just a few words. What you saw tonight and what you as the interns did tonight is the result, as you know, of weeks and weeks of hard work that's layered onto all of the work you're doing already for your projects. These interns walk into icstars and they think it's all about technology. And then they get into it, and by week, I don't know, 1, 2, maybe 3, they learn it's about so much more. It's about vision, it's about grit, it's about learning how to learn, it's about learning how to self-motivate, it's about learning how to find your weaknesses and work on them. It's about evolving and reinventing yourself over and over and over again. So I thank those of you for joining us on the stream, those of you especially for joining us live, and to the interns, I thank you for trusting me with the process and sharing yourselves with all of us. So now you know what it's time to do. It's time to go out there and make those dreams happen. Thanks for joining us.
All right, man. I rarely get an opportunity to really just kind of jump ahead 25 years. That time travel was smooth as newborn skin. Thank you, Jill, for taking us on this wonderful journey with all of our talent. And I'm going to ask you guys to hold on to your seats while I take you back with me to 2025. And we have landed. This was an incredible night, a great journey, and we will all reflect. We heard a mini call to actions, right? We heard for us to pay kindness forward to everyone who's ever been othered. We've heard that we shouldn't be afraid to make fools of ourselves because all that we want is just on the other side. We've heard about how people feel like the struggle isn't worth it, but it's part of life's sweetness. We've heard about how many of us have come here and how we honor them with libations and memory and truths. We heard so many things, and I think that the common thread was all about visibility. To open your eyes, if you would just see, you'll notice that there are people staring right back at you. And the hope needs you. Dreaming is a really important part. Dreaming is so important because dreaming has turned into such a privilege. When I was a young girl, I remember just getting a good government job was the goal. You better not quit that good government job. You better go to school. You better do X, Y, and Z. Just dot your I's and cross your T's. To dream was frowned upon. But what our ancestors may not have known at that time is that men and women with no dreams are men and women without vision. And tonight, we thank you so much for being the visionaries that the hope so badly needs. Again, thank you so much to our wonderful MC, Jill Weininger. What some of you may not know about Jill is that Jill is actually retired and has made a substantial investment in every single one of the individuals here at icstars who go through this process, and she comes back in person whenever she can and actually help them to craft the very dreams that we all got to witness today. We gifted her recently a dream catcher because the goal of a dream catcher is to capture the bad dreams and let the good ones flow through. And she has embodied the dream catcher name countless times. And I thank you so much for your labor of love as an educator, as a community member, and as a wonderful ally. Thank you, Jill. And then one last call is to our witnesses. Thank you so much for coming to witness the dream. Martin Luther King was upon the stage many moons ago, and his speech was falling flat. And it was the witness, Mahalia Jackson, who yelled out, "Martin, tell him about the dream," that birthed the dream that so many of us can still hear echoing in our hearts. And so as these dreams echo in yours, call it back to them. Remind them of what you've seen 25 years into their futures, because we need it. That is the hope that we are leading into. Thank you so much tonight, everybody. Let's close out and stay warm.